So, are you ready to get more sleep, to get more quality sleep? Getting insufficient sleep can negatively impact your health and your overall well being and prevent you from living your best life and actually have you not lose weight and maybe gain some pounds. In fact, it can prevent you from living a long life. There are numerous studies showing that consistent lack of sleep can even lead to an early death. So, according to a Harvard medical study, people who sleep for less than 5 hours a night are twice as likely to develop dementia, twice as likely to die in comparison to those who constantly and consistently have at least 6 hours or more of sleep per night. In another study involving almost 8,000 participants in 4 European countries, it was found that people 50 years and older who regularly sleep for 6 hours or less have a 30% increase in dementia risk. Dementia. We don't want dementia. The problem that most people have, and probably yours too, I know sometimes mine, is it's challenging sometimes to get that recommended minimum 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night. To help you with this area, I came up with a list of tips to help you fall asleep faster, which ultimately means more hours of sleep for you and to keep sleeping throughout the night. Now, they can also enhance the quality of your sleep, so you wake up each day feeling refreshed and invigorated. Again, a lot of these tips you've probably heard before. Maybe you've heard them before, maybe you haven't. We always need a reminder, and sometimes things that are so simple, we just need to do them. We sometimes think that because they're so simple, we just kind of overlook it. We just kind of maybe dismiss it a little bit. However, here are the tips. Very important. Number one, follow a simple routine before bed. It's vital to follow a routine before bed in order to get the best night's sleep possible. This just means getting to sleep, waking up at the same time every day, doing some relaxation exercises, winding down for at least 30 minutes before sleep, obviously getting rid of the blue light, just getting yourself ready for sleep. It's so important. Number two, keep a cool and comfortable environment in your bedroom. For most, a room temperature between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit is most conducive for sleep. Now, I will tell you, I live in the South. It is hot down here. Trying to keep my house at 67 degrees would be challenging. So I tend to say minimum 70 to 72 is ideal. Block out noise, obviously. Keep your bedroom quiet. Set your bedroom up for sleep. So that means no working in your bedroom, no TV in the bedroom. Block out noise. Keep your bedroom very quiet. You could turn on a fan or turn on a pink noise recording to block out any kind of sounds that might be going on around you, neighbors, horns, anything like that. You might have heard of white noise. Pink noise has a more even distribution of sound frequencies and is more calming to the ears compared to white noise. The way which pink noise shifts between high and low frequencies mimics the sounds of nature, like the sound of waves lapping on the shore, gentle rain, just that really soothing natural sound. White noise, conversely, is more uniform in sound, stays at a constant level. So really consider looking into that. Keep your bedroom dark, really dark. Darkness prepares the brain for sleep. Hang heavy curtains in your bedroom if you need to get some of those curtains that block the sunlight. Super important. You could also wear a sleep mask to cover your eyes. Ideally, you don't want to be able to see your hand in front of your face when you first turn off the lights. You want it to be really, really dark. I recommend cutting the overhead lights in the evening early, about 2 hours before you go to sleep. You could actually just turn on lamps around the room. That way you don't have that bright light over your head. If you can imagine, when you have that bright light over your head, your brain is thinking it's day, it's sunlight. And if you can turn down the lights, get those bright lights overhead turned down, then your brain starts thinking it's time for sleep. When I've gone camping with my son, it's like so amazing. As soon as it gets dark, we have a campfire. So there's no light over our head. There's only that light at eye level or below. And it's this nice warm light. And it just sets the mood that it's time to go to sleep. Also choose bulbs with a warm light or lower Kelvin temperature to signal that it's no longer daylight. They also have red light bulbs, which are really cool. I have some red glasses. When I put those on, it almost triggers my brain to think it's bedtime. So it's pretty amazing. So red light promotes an increase in melatonin secretion, which is awesome, which is what we need. Some of us actually take it before we go to sleep. I know I take it sometimes. That also leads to improved sleep quality. A good night's rest, in turn, results in enhanced cognitive function, overall mental well-being. And I know I've joked about this before. I know I have a young son, so the word poop is always funny to him, but our brain poops at night. If you can imagine, it's actually detoxing itself at night. So it's getting rid of those toxins. It's not really pooping, but I think it's kind of a funny way to think about it. However, your brain has to detox at night, and that is the best time that it's actually getting its detox done is at night. So you want to get your sleep. You want to get your sleep. For any additional information about red lights, I'll put a link below. There's some great companies that do all kinds of lights. They do all kinds of glasses, all kinds of different things these days to help our body sleep well, because everybody's really understanding the importance of sleep. Tip number 3, limit screen time before sleep. Now, this, I think we've heard this, and I know I have my challenges sometimes as well. However, it absolutely affects my sleep, and I know it does. There are some settings that you could have on your phone, on your computer, on your TV to start blocking out that blue light early on. Do that. It's so important. That bright, bright light with the blue is just signals our brain to stay that it's like wide awake. So limit your screen time before you sleep, because obviously, again, that blue light the screen emits interferes with your body's production of melatonin. Melatonin is so important for us to get to sleep. This hormone obviously regulates our sleep-wake cycles, and being exposed to too much blue light actually disrupts our body's natural sleep rhythm and causes major disturbances. So again, there's settings on cell phones and computers. We can automatically adjust the brightness. You can also, again, invest in blue light blocking glasses. There's so many companies out there doing these now. I'll put a link down below if you're interested in that and looking into that more. There's also a really cool setting that I was introduced to by another practitioner, and it actually, I have it set on my computer. So if I happen to be working in the afternoons or evenings, as soon as the sun starts to set, it like turns my screen. It blocks the blue light. It's fabulous. It was a free app, a free setting that I have on my computer. So I will find that and I'll attach that below too, because I think that's fantastic for people, especially those of us that tend to work a little late. Number 4, this one should be a no-brainer, right? However, avoid caffeine and alcohol before sleep. I typically try to recommend people to stop having any caffeine around 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I know some people say that they can have caffeine late and it doesn't affect them. I promise you, it's impacting your deep sleep. I promise you it can impact your deep sleep. Alcohol as well. I know I have people that tell me as well that alcohol helps them relax. Now, interestingly, it helps you feel relaxed. However, you're not sleeping as deep. And I know I've mentioned this before as well with my Aura ring. I track this, and I know that when I have a glass of wine with dinner, if it's the weekend, we've gone out to a nice dinner and I have a glass of wine, I absolutely don't sleep as well as I do when I don't have it. And I very rarely drink. It's just every once in a while, and it absolutely makes a difference. Just something to really consider. So avoid your alcohol, avoid your caffeine before sleep. Alcohol actually disrupts your sleep later in the night. You won't sleep as deep and you'll feel groggy in the morning. It's just not fun. Caffeine, also you're just not sleeping deep. You're not getting that deep sleep. So research shows it's best to not have caffeine within 6 hours of bedtime. I typically say more than that. I like to say 1 or 2, especially if you're getting to bed by 8 or 9, 10 o'clock. I mean, that's definitely more than 6 hours. Lunch might be the best time to cut the caffeine off. Number 5, get up and move around during the day. Now, I know so many of us have these jobs where we are in front of computers a lot these days. And I say we because I feel like I'm doing that more than I used to. And it's so important to get up and move. And I've got timers. Fortunately, when I'm working from home, I've got my little pups. I'm getting up, taking them out, in and out. So I'm up and down quite a bit. And also around that, get yourself moving and exercising. And I say exercise, like to call that joyful movement. And I kind of adopted that from another practitioner as well, because if you think about exercise, a lot of people have a negative belief, a negative connotation about what exercise is. If you think about it as joyful movement, it's like, okay, what brings me joy? What makes me feel good? And start really using your mind to your advantage in the realm of exercise, feeling good, feeling your muscles feels good, feeling sore feels like I'm getting stronger. Start having changing those beliefs about what we feel exercise is, and move around during the day. Obviously, wisely. Set your timer. I know a lot of people, I have them set timers on their phones, on their computers, in some way to get up and move. Go walk around a couple of times. I have people that are in offices. I tell them, get up. When you go to the bathroom, make a few laps. Get up, go to the bathroom 2 or 3 times just to make it a habit that you're getting up, a reason to get up and move. So a brisk walk around your neighborhood, obviously in the afternoon, in the evenings, in the mornings, light stretches, keep your posture right. That's so important. But being active during the day will help you also feel tired in the evening. So if you're not getting your exercise, or you're not going to the gym or doing your workout, or you're not doing your dance or yoga or whatever that is that day, make sure you're walking, especially after we eat. The most effective and important times to have a nice walk is right after you have a meal. In the afternoon or the evening, when you have your dinner, go for a nice walk around the block, at least. Right? Get your steps in. I know we've talked about walking. It's such a simple thing. It's like drinking water. It's such a simple thing that's so important and has such an amazing impact on our health. Now, it's also best to stop doing like strenuous activity at least an hour, hour and a half before you go to sleep. Because obviously we get our heart rate up and we start things flowing. It alerts us to feel awake. You want to limit it. Now, a walk around the block, a walk around the neighborhood, a couple of miles after dinner, that's not going to keep you up like a vigorous exercise routine would. So aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate aerobic exercise per week. I will say just get walking. If you could get your 10,000 steps a day, it is so powerful. A minimal of 10,000 steps a day, I should say. Some people that are exercising like crazy and that are so great about that. I will tell you, so many of my patients that come in, their lives are so busy and they're just not moving enough. They're not getting enough movement. So just keep it simple. Keep it simple. Those of you that are dedicated and disciplined and going to the gym and doing everything you're supposed to do, keep it up. Keep it up. I applaud you. The vast majority of people, unfortunately, are not getting enough movement. I will say that all the time. And number 6, eat light. Avoid eating foods that are high in calories or too heavy in spices later in the day. The best time to eat, minimum 3 hours before your bedtime, before you go to sleep. So you have plenty of time to digest the food. Take that walk after dinner before you go to sleep. If you want a snack, if you feel like you need a snack, drink water first. And I know I've talked about this because a lot of times when we're dehydrated, sometimes we think we're hungry and we think we want to grab a snack. Drink water first. Drink water first. Try to avoid snacks late at night as much as possible. If you do need to grab a snack, keep it really light. I always say something like celery, something simple that will give you that crunch, will give you a little bit of that satisfaction that you're eating something, but very low calorie, but especially low carbohydrate, low sugar. Again, drink your water. Drink your water. If you want a guide on simple tips to get you drinking more water, I have that available. I will attach that below as well. I've got all kinds of simple things. And I always mention all of these things are simple. And you probably have heard these things. I know I've heard them a lot of different ways by a lot of different people, and it's always very similar. And we need that reinforcement. We need that constant reminder to stay on top of these things because our health is the most important, the most valuable thing that you have in your life. So tip number 7, practice deep breathing exercises or stretches at night or yoga at night. In the evening, you can do deep breathing exercises, relaxation exercises. There's so many great tools, progressive muscle relaxation. You literally lay there and just imagine your body floating. You start with your toes and you're just imagine your body floating little by little and just relax yourself, relax your body. Nice deep breathing, whether you're sitting down, whether you're laying down, it's phenomenally effective to get associated with your breath, to get associated with your body. So a simple exercise, breathing technique, just inhale for 4, hold it for 4, and exhale for 6. Inhaling is done slowly, deeply through the nose. Exhaling is done through the mouth. Just get your body in a rhythm. Really focus on your breath. It gets your mind off of other things, off the worries of the day and everything else. Progressive muscle relaxation. Again, you could do it sitting down, laying down. You could tense and relax your muscle groups, going from one group to the next. Just imagine each muscle group tightening and relaxing. Also focus on your breath as you do this. And then, of course, again, the relaxation where you're floating. I mean, that's such a powerful thing to do. I know it feels good too. If you just imagine with your toes, you work your way up. Sometimes people are asleep before they get to their head, right? So these are just some simple and yet powerful ways to help get yourself to sleep, get yourself ready for sleep, get yourself prepared for sleep. And they also can help you manage stress throughout the day. So if you start feeling the overwhelm of what's going on, do some breathing techniques, do some progressive relaxation technique. Tip number 8, end the day on a positive note. End the day on a positive note. Regardless of how your day turned out, there is always something that we can be grateful for. Just reflect on your day. Just think of something that made you feel grateful, thankful. Yeah, anything. You can write them down in a small notebook. You can just keep it in your mind. Having it where you could write it down is really powerful because those things start adding up. And you've got this little notebook right next to your bed with all those things you're grateful for. It's just such a phenomenal reminder, especially when things aren't going the way we like them to go. You could also listen to an audiobook, soothing music, anything that puts you in the mood for sleep. Now, remember, the soothing audiobook, make sure it's something that you want to listen. This is where my subconscious stuff comes in. Make sure it's something that's not going to influence you in a way that you don't want to be influenced. I wouldn't recommend books about horror stories or killing or anything like that. Something that's really simple that can just let your body and your mind focus on the word and the voice. I'm a big fan of late night affirmations, hypnosis, whatever you want to call it. There's so many powerful things that you can listen to that will help you relax, go deep into that subconscious and give you the words that you want to hear. Whatever you do, avoid the temptation of watching TV, especially the news before bedtime. The news in general, it's always negative. I hate to say it. The news, I don't know. I don't really watch it. If ever, I can't remember the last time I watched the news. And with that being said, I don't think there's ever anything positive on the news. So we don't want to go to sleep with anything negative right before we go to sleep. Yeah, there's a lot of controversy with the news in general. Just turn it off. That's not something we want in our brain, in our subconscious right before we go to sleep. Believe me, focus on what you're grateful for. Focus on what you're thankful for. Everything positive. Make sure it's only things that empower you, that strengthen you, that you allow into your mind. Guard your mind. Guard your mind. It's so, so important. There you have it. 8 simple tips to get you some more quality sleep. Not getting your sleep can be actually dangerous. It can affect your health in so many different ways. So if you're really serious about getting more quality sleep, there's no better time than today to start incorporating these simple tips. And if you're interested in even more tips to fall asleep better, sleep better, I have actually an ebook, The Sleep Better, Feel Better, and it's got even more tips. Feel free to grab that book. No charge for you. It's all free. If you want any more help, definitely let me know. Reach out. I'd love to help. I'd love to have a quick conversation, see how I can help, see what I could do, and start sleeping better tonight. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe to my channel for more helpful videos. And as always, have a fabulous day and live to your fullest potential naturally.